Gather round me, friends, for the hour grows late, and the night calls for a tale of mystery, power, and fate entwined. Let us return to the saga of the children of the Crescent Moon, whose path wove ever deeper into the enigma of prophecy, ancient knowledge, and forces beyond their ken. When last we spoke, our brave adventurers had found momentary respite within the Red Herring Inn, their hands clutching the second of 3 arcane devices. Upon its unlocking, 5 more fragments of the prophecy whispered into their midst, words of shadow and fate, of threads woven and secrets unearthed. Yet, as swiftly as the parchment revealed its truth, it faded, transcribing itself into the scroll that held all their prior discoveries. The puzzle deepened, its meaning slipping through their grasp like the mist upon the morning air. Determined to unravel these riddles, the party turned to their training, where their strength and their skill will be needed in the trials ahead. This time, however, the transformation was not merely of mind and body, but of essence itself. One among them, the cleric, found his form shifting, his frame thickening, shoulders broadening, and beard sprouting practically overnight. His very stature reshaped as though by unseen hands. The rogue, too, changed, features becoming gaunt yet strangely refined, skin darkening to a hue unfamiliar. And then there was the exhaustion, creeping through their ranks like a phantom, moving from one to another with no clear cause. What dark hand played its part in these subtle changes? None could say. Yet their path did not waver. They sought counsel in the veiled halls of the Court of Whispers, a sanctum of secrets where knowledge is currency, and those who trade in it walk the knife's edge between power and peril. Through the dim-lit halls they strode, past veiled figures and masked informants, their whispers merging with the very walls. And there, amidst the silent hum of clandestine dealings, they found those who held the keys to their mystery. The tiefling, Dahlia Daskur, draped in robes of ink and shadow, spoke first. Her knowledge of the arcane wove a dark tale, that of Vecna the Betrayer, whose limbs, severed in treachery, had become a thing of legend. Once a man, then a lick, now a god of forbidden secrets. His name was etched upon the stones of Oerth, and in the great free city of Greyhawk the past might still be found in ink and parchment. From her stall to that of Hildur Brighthelm they went, a dwarf whose fingers bore the stains of ancient texts, whose voice rang with the weight of lost history. It was she who unraveled the celestial signs of their prophecy, pointing them towards the Crystal Mist Mountains, where dawn's ring and dusk shadow would reveal a relic they sought. But it was the sword, the fighter's blade, that caught her attention the most. As she reached for it, the weapon vanished, reappearing in its wielder's grasp as though bound by fate itself. A blade with a will, a history unspoken. And so they delved deeper, seeking the wisdom of Corwin Alark, the cartographer, whose maps traced forgotten lands and unseen paths. From his lips came the final piece. The riddle was confirmed to lead them to the Crystal Mist Mountains, far from where they stood, and their next step lay in the free city of Greyhawk, where the great library awaited their searching hands. With purpose renewed, they turned to matters of travel. Their options within the Radiant Citadel were not many, and those that they have become aware of were very selective. So they sought the assistance of Mirror Amir, a contact from the Golden Vault whose dealings in information and logistics had made her invaluable thus far. Upon arriving at her home, they found it changed. Where once a door hung loose, now stood a reinforced entrance, solid and imposing. Inside, they stepped into a paradox, a space far grander than its exterior, an illusion of luxury and power carefully maintained. Vera, ever shrewd, listened to their request and struck a bargain, a charter of the Voidpiercer, the ship that would carry them to Oerth, for a fee. Negotiations ensued, coin exchanged hands, and at last, their voyage was secured. Aboard the Voidpiercer, their course was set, yet as they drifted through the astral sea past tides of infinity, something stirred beyond the vessel's gleaming hull. A shadow against the silvered void, immense and ancient, moving with the grace of time itself. A dragon, vast beyond reckoning, its scales shimmering in the light of shattered worlds. It watched them, unthreatening yet filled with a presence that set their heart to stillness. And then it spoke, a voice like embers long cold yet never truly extinguished. "I am Zyraxathar, the Ashbringer," it said. and the party learned it was he who forged the blade that the fighter now held. A blade that had a name, Zyraxathar, the sword of blackened night and ember veins. And it was the fighter that he turned his gaze upon, his words filled with the weight of a promise long unspoken. Wield it with wisdom, the dragon intoned. Shouldst thou stray, then shalt thou fall, and the sword shall forsake thee. As the crew stood in silent awe, Captain Varnick stepped forward, bowing with deep reverence. "We are humbled by your presence, Ancient One," she said, her voice steady yet deferential. "What brings you to our path?" The dragon exhaled a slow, deliberate breath, and the void itself seemed to tremble in its wake. "Fate draws thee near," Zyraxathar mused. "The blade calls to me, and I to it. I would see its wielder prove worthy of the burden it carries." His gaze, filled with the weight of eternity, settled once more upon the fighter. "Do not falter, child of the Crescent Moon. The hour of reckoning approaches." But, my friends, the hour is now late, and this tale is yet unfinished. For the fate of the children of the Crescent Moon is still unwritten, and what lies beyond the void, only time will tell.